Hello and welcome to qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix here at the Hungaroring. The Budapest, Rubens Barrichello has posted the first times. Michael Schumacher has gone pole, Pedro Rose was beaten that time. These lap times aren't going to be representative to the final lap times because they usually go quite slowly at the start of the session. So far it's Alex Young on pole with a 1 minute 17.8. Is anyone going to challenge that? Lazy couldn't go any faster. Ralf Schumacher's managed to get up into third place. Barrichello's up to fourth, Verstappen's fifth. Montoya has taken pole with a 1:17.2. And we are waiting for the rest of the drivers to go out. Coulthard has only done 2 laps and has not returned to the pits. By the looks of it, Young has just gone on pole with a 1:17.1. Anyone going to dip into the 1:16s? Frentzen has jumped into third place. He's been nowhere all session. He's jumped into third place. Bertie's just posted into 9th. He's still got Frentzen in third. Schumacher, Michael in 5th. Young has just improved to a 1:17.0. Frentzen has completed all of his lap times. He's on a 1:17.9. He's 8 tenths behind the top 2. It's a huge gap. Montoya could not beat Young's time, so it looks like it's going to be a Minardi on pole with Alex Young. Is he going to improve? He is not going to improve his lap time with 15 minutes to go. De La Rosa has just gone out, so has Bertie, so has Michael Schumacher. None of them have improved their position. Bertie is only 1,000th behind Frentzen. Bertie's still got 1 more lap to do. Coulthard has come back out. And he is still in 10th place. Bertie is back out and he has jumped into third place ahead of Frentzen, and that will be your grid. Young is on pole with Montoya in second place. Look at the bottom, we've got Hill, Sato, Alonso, Button, Mazzacane, Panis, Lazy, Fisichella, Raikkonen, Webber, you 11 to 20. Then we've got Coulthard 10th, Verstappen 9th, Barrichello 8th, Schumacher, De La Rosa, Frentzen, Bertie, Montoya and Alex Young. As we are going on to the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Always brings loads of surprises, this track does. Loads of action always happens at this track, so we can be assured of loads of action again this time around as we look at the grid girls ready to show us the grid. It's Young on pole, Montoya on second. We are heading for 5 red lights and away we go. Young has a fantastic start from pole. Bertie jumps into second place. Montoya closes the door on Frentzen. It's going to be Young has flown off the traps. Ralf Schumacher trying to go around the outside of Barrichello. It's going to turn into the inside of turn 2, but Barrichello shuts the door on Ralf Schumacher, Raikkonen, Webber, Fisichella, Lazy, Mazzacane, Panis, Alonso, Button, Hill, Sato. So it's Minardi in front of Minardi in 20th place at the moment as they head towards turn 2 for the first time of 24 laps. There is Alex Young far ahead at the moment. Bertie has just not been able to challenge him at all. Montoya from second place has dropped behind Bertie. There is Young. 1.7 seconds is already the gap. That was a fantastic start. Montoya third. Looking left, looking right, trying to pass Bertie. You can't tell Frentzen in 4th place in the arrows. 5th place is Michael Schumacher, with 6th place being Pedro De La Rosa in the Jaguar, your season 1 champion. Barrichello 7th in Ferrari. 8th place is the defending champion Ralf Schumacher. 9th place Jos Verstappen in the McLaren. 10th place is Coulthard in the other McLaren. There is your top 10. Raikkonen in 11th. Webber in 12th place in the Sauber. 13th place is Fisichella. 14th place Jean Lazy in the Renault. 15th place is Mazzacane. 16th is Olivier Panis in the BAR. Alonso 17th. We've got 26 laps. Button in 18th currently in the Jordan. 19th place is Damon Hill as he goes up the hill. Sato is in 20th place and last at the moment. But out in front is Alex Young in the Minardi. What can he do? He's got a 3.4 second lead, but he has inexpertly crashed. He is out. Young out. He's failed to brake for the first corner and he's out of the Hungarian Grand Prix before it's really started. That is a shame because he had such a fantastic start there. Here is a replay round the first corner and second corner coming up. He just doesn't slow down enough and the grass takes him off into the barriers, and there's your first retirement, Alex Young. So it's now Bertie leading, Montoya in second, Frentzen third in the hours. Montoya looking down the inside of Bertie, but nothing doing. Hungaroring, famed for being such a difficult overtaking track. There's only really two overtaking spots, and that is turns 1 and turn 2. Unless someone does an audacious overtake somewhere else along the track. Bertie leads. Montoya's in second place, Frentzen in third place. Fourth is Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. Fifth place, already losing time to the first four, is De La Rosa. Montoya has a look down the inside but cannot overtake Montoya at the moment. Bertie at the moment, as they all start lap 3 out of 26. And Montoya, is he going to take a dive bomb down Bertie? Looked like he was going to, but nothing doing. Top 12, top 13 all covered by 9.7 seconds at the moment. It's a very short lap here at the Hungaroring. They were doing 1 minute 17s in qualifying. Sato 19th in last place is only 16.2 seconds behind, but that gap is probably going to increase and increase and increase at the moment, while Bertie has the lead. The runner-up in Season 2 was Luciano Bertie. Montoya looked a little inside, poked his nose to show that he was there. But at the moment it is lying astern at the moment. Bertie leading with Montoya in second place. Now we could expect to see loads of one-stoppers because track position is key around the Hungarian track. Unless you can get out into the lead on a free stop and glide away into the distance. The top 4, Montoya still looking down the inside of Bertie. He had a better line going around there, but he will not be able to go around the outside of that final corner. So it is as you are, Bertie, Montoya, Frentzen, Schumacher, your top 4. They're all pulling away from De La Rosa. Is Montoya going to have another look down the inside of Bertie around turn 1? He is not. It's going to still be first, second, third and fourth as you are. Second place is Montoya. Third place, Frentzen in the Arrows. Fourth place is Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. There is your fifth place man, De La Rosa. Sixth is Barrichello. Seventh is Verstappen. He has managed to overtake Ralf Schumacher, who looks to be quite slow in the opening stage of the race. Montoya Coulthard is currently being held up a little bit by Schumacher, and so is Raikkonen and Webber and Fisichella, all of them. Ralf Schumacher's managed to have a train at the moment. Lazy in 13th place, Mazzacane is in 14th, he's not in that train. The BARs are lying astern. Button, little bit of oversteer there for Button. Fernando Alonso is in 17th place, your Toyota in your Toyota. 18th place is Damon Hill, he's 6 seconds behind with Sato in 19th place. And last of the drivers left, the Minardi of Young is your only retirement, and there's your top 4 still lying astern. Bertie is pulled away a little bit from Montoya, but Montoya, winner of the last race, probably going to be able to keep up with these lot. Frentzen is currently in third place in the Arrows. Fourth is Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. Fifth, Pedro De La Rosa in the Jaguar, and sixth place Barrichello, with Verstappen 4 seconds behind these lots. Coulthard has managed to overtake Ralf Schumacher, so both McLarens are free from the Ralf Schumacher train. In 9th place, Raikkonen in 10th place at the moment, with Webber in 11th. Fisichella and the Lazy, the 2 Renaults behind. So the 2 Saubers and the 2 Renaults. There is the two McLarens, the arrows of Ralf Schumacher, sort of the odd one out at the moment. There is Ralf Schumacher in the arrows, 9th place currently for the German Season 2 champion. Arrows have got off to a slow start to say they were Constructors champions. They had a 7th place, they're currently 6th place in the Constructors title championship. Raikkonen has a little look down the inside of Ralf Schumacher. He's going to look down the inside of the final corner. Is he going to make the move stick? He's still down the inside. He's going to turn into the inside of turn 1, but Ralf Schumacher managed to get a good exit as to go down towards turn 1. It's going to be Mark Webber actually has managed to overtake Raikkonen down into turn 1. Ralf Schumacher keeps hold of 9th position at the moment. Coulthard and Verstappen trying to pull away from Ralf Schumacher before the first round of pit stops inevitably happens. Coulthard tries to go around the outside of Verstappen. That's not going to work. But Coulthard has the inside line down into turn 6, and Coulthard takes the position away from Verstappen. That is 7th place now for Coulthard, 8th place for Verstappen. And now Coulthard can pull away from the Dutchman Barrichello in 6th place, and De La Rosa in 5th place. It's as you are. They're keeping up with the pace of the top 4, but they're not close enough to even try to challenge for 4th place. Montoya still trying to find a way past Bertie in the Jaguar, but none of these have been able to overtake each other as they start lap 7. And that is Mark Webber going into the pits on lap 9 in the Sauber. He is your first pitter. Presumably he's on a free stop unless he feels very heavily. Into the pit box goes Webber. There are going to be a lot of fuel put in for the Australian. No, 7 laps, so it's definitely going to be a free stop. But he's going to have heaps of time, it looks like. There is Sato, and Webber is going to keep hot in front of Sato, so he's going to have a 10-second gap to the next car. And there is Bertie still leading in that Jaguar. That Jaguar looks like he might one-stop the race. Montoya is in 2nd place at the moment. 3rd place is still going to be Frentzen. Round turn 14 or 15, I don't remember. Frentzen in 3rd place. 4th place is currently Michael Schumacher as we have the classification. Bertie in the lead, Montoya 2nd, Frentzen 3rd, Schumacher in 4th, De La Rosa 5th, Barrichello is in 6th place, Coulthard 7th, Verstappen is in 8th place. All these covered by 10 seconds. Raikkonen has managed to overtake Ralf Schumacher. The 17 seconds is the gap. That looks like a Jordan pit, and it is. It's Button that's pitting at the moment. The 2 BARs away. It's an 80-kilometre pit lane here. And there is a Button going into his pit crew. It's being serviced at the moment. And he has a whole heap of fuel going into the car. Looks like he's going to go for the one. He's going for the one stop. He's going very heavy, and away he goes for the Englishman. He's a huge amount of fuel put into the car. He's going to be very far in last place is the Brit. And away he goes. That was the Ferrari also getting ready for a pit stop. Bertie leading in the Jaguar. Montoya still looking in the inside of that corner is Montoya, but no way of getting past. It's Schumacher that's going into the pits for his first of what I could presume is 2 stops for the German. This will give a good indication about where these front runners are going to go. It's Coulthard that's also pitting in the McLaren. Down the pit lane they go. Coulthard into the pit box. So is Schumacher. Change of all 4 tyres for the German. Coulthard probably going to come out ahead of... No, before Schumacher is not. He's still in the pit lane. Schumacher is coming out. It's going to probably be a 2 stop for the German. So there's Panis and Mazzacane. Coulthard is only just coming out, so I presume he's being put onto a one-stop to combat the blocking. Round is for Alonso in 14th, Mazzacane 13th in the BAR, and Panis in 12th place in the other BAR. Schumacher is in 11th place in the Ferrari now, Lazy 10th, and Ralf Schumacher in 9th has been overtaken by Fisichella. Raikkonen is in 7th place in the Sauber, 6th is Verstappen in the McLaren, 5th Barrichello, 4th currently Della Rosa. We've got Frentzen in 3rd, Montoya in 2nd and Bertie in 3rd. They're all still line astern is the top 3 as they start lap 10. There's 16 laps to go, 17 laps if you include this lap. Is any of the top 3 going to blink first? Surely pitting for any of the top 3 would be curtains in the battle because they'll be heavily fueled. Fisichella is coming into the pits for the Renault team. And slowing down now. Ralf Schumacher has gone past. The Lazy has gone past. Michael Schumacher's obviously going to go past. But how long is Fisichella going to be in the pit lane? Mazzacane's gone past, and so will Alonso, you'd have thought. Still refueling is the Renault. Still in the pits. He's fueled very heavily. Is the Renault 15.9 seconds Fisichella. That's surely enough fuel to take him to the end. Rather intriguing strategy that is. And away goes Fisichella. Again, directly in front of Takuma Sato. Looks like it's where the gap is going to be. Bertie slams the door shut on that Colombian of Montoya. That's not going to best please the Toyota driver as they go down the pit straight for the 11th time. Montoya looks a little down the inside. Frentzen in 3rd in the arrows. No way past. Frentzen is just not challenging for the top 2 positions in the arrows. Della Rosa is currently behind 4.5 seconds in the Jaguar. As we go back on board with Montoya, is he going to challenge at all for the lead? He's challenged on every single lap so far, but Bertie has been vigilant and not allowing the Colombian past. Button looks like he's going to be part of this battle, but he's a back marker, of course. Is he going to cause trouble for the Brazilian and the Colombian? Is he going to allow Frentzen perhaps to get through as down towards the final sector? There is Button. They're going to catch him in a rather awkward place, it looks like. Down round turn 1, there's Pablo Montoya, 2nd place. Frentzen 3rd in the arrows. Round the final corner. But it's Bertie in the lead. Montoya in 2nd. Frentzen in 3rd. There is Button. He is going to hold Bertie up a little bit. Bertie going to go around the outside of turn 2, it looks like. He's took enough of a speed, and that is 1 lap on Button, but Button is now holding up Montoya. He's going to go around the outside of turn 4. No, he isn't. He's in fact holding up Frentzen as well. Button finally lets Montoya through, but he's not letting Frentzen through. Is Frentzen going to go around the chicane? He isn't. Button is refusing to give up his position, and there's going to be no way of overtaking around these corners. So the top 3 have been split up, which is a shame because they were all battling, and now Frentzen has been caught by Della Rosa, Barrichello and Verstappen. This is actually going to hurt Frentzen really badly because he's not in this battle, but he is still not giving up the position. And Frentzen is finally going to put the lap on Button, but there's Verstappen. How much time have they lost to the top 2? We can tell you it is 6 seconds. Frentzen has just lost on Bertie and Montoya because they caught Button at the wrong time. Bertie leads, Montoya second, Frentzen third. Where is Verstappen going to come out in relation to Ralf Schumacher? Ralf Schumacher goes past, and so does Michael Schumacher. Verstappen is still in the pits, so that looks like it's going to be a one-stop for Verstappen. He's going to come out ahead of Mazzacane by the looks of it, although Mazzacane is coming down the pit lane now, and Mazzacane has gone past Verstappen, so Verstappen is going to have to try and overtake Mazzacane on track. But that is currently 9th place for Verstappen, and if he's going till the end, that's going to be surely guaranteed points. There is Ralf Schumacher, Barrichello currently in 5th place, Pedro de la Rosa in 4th, Frentzen pulling away significantly from Pedro de la Rosa again. He's got to try and make up for lost time. Montoya has caught up to Bertie again, and so the battle might resume. Montoya is visibly quicker than Montoya as Frentzen goes into the pit lane for his first stop. Not sure if this is going to be a one-stop or a two-stop for the Arrows. We shall see. And Barrichello has followed suit in with the Arrows. They're both at the end of the pit lane is Frentzen and Barrichello. Frentzen's currently being serviced. Is it going to be a one or a two stop for Frentzen? Still being fueled, so it looks like it's going to be a one stop for Frentzen. Frentzen going to come out ahead, Frentzen's come out ahead of Barrichello, and away goes Frentzen. He's easily ahead of the Mazzacane Verstappen battle. There's Michael Schumacher in 5th, Ralf Schumacher currently in 4th. On lap 14, we're over the halfway distance. Ralf Schumacher, 21 seconds is the gap between Ralf Schumacher and De La Rosa. Montoya was in 2nd place, and the Toyota Bertie currently leads still. Are any of these going to blink and pit? Bertie first, Montoya in 2nd in the Jaguar. It looks like it's going to be Bertie and Montoya going into the pits. So it's the battle of the pit crew between Jaguar and Toyota. So that means that presumably De La Rosa is not going to pit this lap, so he's going to take the lead. Into the pit lane, there goes Montoya, and there goes Bertie, who is going to come out ahead. De La Rosa has gone straight past, and he's going to get out ahead of Ralf Schumacher as well. Bertie off the jack, still refueling. They're both one-stopping. Montoya has come out. Bertie is being held by Montoya. That is crucial, as Montoya is going to take the lead on paper ahead of Bertie. They've both come out ahead of Ralf Schumacher, but that is key. Montoya leads from Bertie. Of course, De La Rosa is still out in front, but Montoya was visibly quicker in them stints, so you'd have thought that Montoya is going to simply pull away from Bertie, so it might be 2 in a row for Montoya, unless Pedro de la Rosa manages to get enough of a gap. He is, of course, significantly lighter than De La Rosa and Montoya, so we will soon see if that is going to be the case. There is Montoya in 2nd place. He looks like he's going to catch up. Oh, that was Ralf Schumacher having a little look down the inside of Bertie. Of course, Ralf Schumacher is now significantly lighter than Bertie, so he might pose a threat to Bertie. There's Michael Schumacher in 5th place. It looks like the Ferrari team are ready for Michael Schumacher. There is Frentzen in 6th place. He's looking good currently for a podium or 4th place. Mazzacane is currently holding on to 8th place. Verstappen in 9th, with Raikkonen directly behind in 10th place. Raikkonen sends one down the inside of Verstappen. Is he going to take the position? Yes, he is. That's a good overtake from the Finn, passing the Dutchman. Coulthard in 11th place, and McLaren is nowhere near. Alonso in 12th place. He's yet to make a pit stop, I believe. A lazy 13th. Panis in 14th place in the BAR, with Fisichella in 15th. Takuma Sato is currently in 16th place, and Minardi has a little look down the inside of Fisichella. Hill is in 17th, Webber in 18th, and Button is long away in 19th place and holding up Bertie at the moment. Bertie going to send one down the inside at the chicane. The answer is no, he's not. Bertie's still behind still behind Button. He's also behind Ralf Schumacher. Ralf Schumacher is also behind as well. De La Rosa pits from the lead. This is going to be key into who is going to take the lead. De La Rosa has had 2 laps over Montoya. He's got a 24-second gap. So it depends on how much he's refueled. We watch as the fuel hose is still in. Still in. Out goes the fuel hose. Out goes De La Rosa. Is Montoya going to come out ahead? The answer is yes. Is De La Rosa going to get second place? He is. Bertie held up by Button all those laps. That lap has made De La Rosa be ahead of Bertie. There is Bertie. There is Ralf Schumacher still trying to overtake Button and still unable to at the moment. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is currently in 4th place. Button has wreaked havoc on all these front runners, being the back marker. Now there is Frentzen in 5th place. He's looking set for 4th place at the moment. There is Barrichello in 6th in the Ferrari. 7th is currently Raikkonen in the Sauber. In 8th place, Jos Verstappen in the McLaren. All these looking like they're going to the end. Coulthard in 9th place. Don't think Coulthard's going to the end. He was fueled rather lightly in that pit stop. Michael Schumacher in 10th place in the Ferrari with a Lazy in 11th in the Renault. In 12th place currently Mazzacane in the BAR, but he's got Panis, the company behind him. He's significantly lighter than his Argentinian teammate Alonso in 14th place in the Toyota. 15th place is currently Sato in the Minardi. Behind is Fisichella, as we have the classification of Montoya leading. De La Rosa is currently in 2nd place. 3rd place is Bertie. 4th place from Ralf Schumacher currently. We're waiting for Heinz-Harald Frentzen to come out. There is Frentzen. 14 seconds back. Barrichello currently 17 seconds back. Raikkonen in 7th, Coulthard 8th. They're 20 and 24 seconds back from the leader, which is Montoya. Jos Verstappen 9th place, he's 30 seconds back, and Michael Schumacher runs off your top 10. With a Lazy 3 seconds back at the moment. And there is Bertie with Ralf Schumacher for company directly behind, but Ralf Schumacher's yet to make a pit stop at the moment. So his position is sort of rootless at the moment, shall we say. But he's keeping Bertie for company at the moment. There is the German, Ralf Schumacher. Bertie currently occupying the 3rd spot at the moment. He probably will still be 3rd at the end, which would increase Jaguars' lead in the Constructors' Championship. As Frenssen's coming up to put a lap around the demon that is Jenson Button, who is holding everyone up at the moment round the final corner. In fact, Frenssen's going to catch Button in quite a useful spot for the German. And there we go. Frentzen puts a lap on Button. That looks like Raikkonen going into the pits. It is indeed Raikkonen going into the pits for the Sauber in towards the pit lane. Change of all 4 tyres for Raikkonen. And away goes the Finn. Down the pit lane. He's going to get out well ahead of Mazzacane, but he's going to be in 11th place. With only 1 or 2 more pit stops going to happen in front at the moment. There's Jean Lazy in 10th place, currently occupying the position right there. Michael Schumacher, not Ralf Schumacher, Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari's 9th, with Verstappen in 8th place in the McLaren. Round turn 6 he goes. Coulthard currently 7th in the McLaren, 6th place currently Barrichello. He's got Button in front for company. Frentzen currently in 5th place. Ralf Schumacher's looking to try and make a move on Bertie, but the German can't pass the Brazilian. Currently 4th for Ralf Schumacher, 3rd for Bertie at the moment. Down the pit straights they all go, round towards the first corner. And Ralf Schumacher not close enough to challenge Bertie at the moment for third place. Round turn 2. Turn 3 now for the Arrows in the Jaguar. Turn 4. Heavy braking, gear 2. Round turn 5. It's a long corner, this corner is. If you had the right line, you can overtake there. And then the very tight chicane. Gear 1 corner this is. Bertie, little twitch there from Bertie. Then it's quite a fast section here. Turn 9, turn 10. I probably got that wrong. And then the last corner of the very twisty section, and then start the final sector. It's a right-hander followed by a left, and then it's a long left-hander as we go on board with Fisichella before we even get to finish the lap, who is driving around without a front wing at the moment, is the Italian. Not sure where he lost that. Juan Pablo Montoya still leads. He has passed Panis. There is the stricken Renault Fisichella. I don't know where he lost that front wing, but what he is doing is holding Montoya up significantly and letting Pedro de la Rosa catch up to him. There goes de la Rosa, who's gone past Sato, and that's quite the train that Fisichella has developed. Bertie has just put Pedro de la Rosa has just put one straight past the BAR. Now Fisichella coming towards the chicane. Is Bertie go down the inside? He is. But we've got Panis, Sato, all of them are. Pedro de la Rosa has to try and overtake. Montoya in currently lead in the Toyota. Pedro de la Rosa in second place in the Jaguar. There's the other Jaguar of Bertie. He's now being significantly caught by Frentzen because of all these cars that Bertie has to try and pass. And this is the replay of how Fisichella lost his front wing. He tries overtaking Alonso. Now is Alonso going to tag Fisichella around the outside? He is. That's a bit naughty by Alonso. And Fisichella has lost his front wing and he's unable to get to the pit lane, so he has to do a whole lap around the Hungary ring, which is notoriously hard for downforce. There is Panis going into the pits for the BAR, and Coulthard is following in the pits. So that's going to clear up some of the people having to try and get past. And Panis has gone straight into the pits. So whatever happened, Panis has lost out. I'm not sure what happened to Panis, but he has retired from the race. As we go on board with Jean Lazy, he has just stopped in the middle of the track with what I presume is he is out of fuel due to Fisichella pitting because of his front wing. So that's very bad luck for Lazy because he was looking set for 9th place. There's the guilty part of Fisichella. Due to no fault of his own, he was pushed into the wall as we have the classification. Montoya leads with De La Rosa in 2nd place. And there's a huge gap now because of the back markers. I don't even know who's in 3rd place. It's Bertie that's in 3rd place. Frentzen 4th. Barrichello's in 5th at the moment for the Ferrari. In 6th place is another huge gap by the looks of it. There's Coulthard. It looks like it is Ralf Schumacher in 6th place. Verstappen in 7th. Michael Schumacher in 8th. As we go on to the final 4 laps of this Grand Prix, Verstappen behind Ralf Schumacher. It's a very good drive from Ralf Schumacher. Coulthard in 9th, and Raikkonen rounds out the other top 10. As Bertie's now being held up by Damon Hill. He's going to send one down the inside of the chicane. He tried, but he can't. And it's going to be line astern around these 4 corners because it's a pretty much single file line. De La Rosa in second place, and Montoya leads in the Toyota, looking to make it 2 out of 2. And that is one of the Arrows and one of the Jaguars. Not sure who that is. It's Bertie and Frenson. What's happened here? Bertie looking towards the inside of, and Frenson has just gone straight into the back of Bertie. Not sure what happened there, but Frenson has gone straight into the back of Bertie. Looks like it's France Part 2 for revenge on the Arrows. But Bertie looking down the inside of, not sure what happened. I think Frenson just missed his braking point and gone barreling into the back of the Jaguar. And that is Frenson and Bertie out on the spot, unfortunately, as we are on board with Montoya now. That's going to promote Barrichello into third place. He's going to promote Ralf Schumacher into fourth. So an even more impressive drive, shall we say, now for the Arrows. Damon Hill still holding up Barrichello. Barrichello is now being caught significantly by Ralf Schumacher in the Arrows. But Ralf Schumacher has the McLaren of Button for company. Not Button. Verstappen. Button's directly in front of these lot, and they're going to catch him in a rather awkward place. Michael Schumacher is currently in 6th place. He's going to promote Mazzacane into the points. Who would have thought that this season for the BAR? But Coulthard's currently in 7th. Raikkonen in 8th place. Mazzacane in 9th. Who would have thought that? And Alonso, he's been slow all race, pretty much, and he's now going to come home in 10th place for the Toyota. 11th is currently going to be Mark Webber in the Sauber in 12th place. Damon Hill in the Jordan. He only needs 2 more retirements and he's going to get points for the Jordan team. Unbelievably. And there is 14th place in Button in the Jordan. There's Frenson and Bertie still parked up. Fisichella pretty much unfortunate to be where he is. There's Panis in 19th, Young in 20th. So Renner's going to come home with 0 points. Montoya is now being held up by his teammate, of all people, as they go around the fast section. Alonso's in 10th place. He's holding up his Colombian teammate leader. Get out of the way, Alonso. There we are. Alonso out of the way. Round the fast chicane there. And De La Rosa is now 4 seconds behind. Barrichello, 3rd place in the Ferrari. He's only just past Hill. But he's now got Ralf Schumacher, who's relatively close. Verstappen is in 5th place. In front of him is his former team. The man he was replaced with. The man who won the Season 2 championship. And we're about to enter the final lap of this Hungarian Grand Prix. Ralf Schumacher has Hill and Sato directly in front. Is Ralf Schumacher going to be able to put a lap on these before Verstappen catches up to him? Down round the final corner, Verstappen had a little look, and now he's going to have a proper overtake on Sato now. Is Michael Schumacher going to follow suit? He isn't. The final lap for these lot. Round turns 1, turns 2. Now Michael Schumacher still not been able to pass. Ralf Schumacher in 4th place. Still, is he going to put a lap on Hill? He is. Former teammates was Hill and Ralf Schumacher. Hill back in his former team. And Verstappen is now being held up by Hill. Barrichello currently in 3rd place. We are fortunate to be in 3rd. De La Rosa is directly in behind Alonso. But this is Juan Pablo Montoya's day. He makes it 2 out of 2 this season and wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. De La Rosa will come home in 2nd place. There's Alonso. He's going to finish in 10th for the Toyota, picking up the 1 solitary point. And Barrichello's going round the final 2 corners. He's going to pick up 3rd place for the Ferrari. Round the final corner, and here comes Barrichello to take home 3rd place for the Ferrari. 4th place is going to be Ralf Schumacher, who is significantly now ahead of the McLaren. Verstappen and Schumacher finishing pretty much together. And there's Hill, Young and Button all finishing as well. Coulthard finishes in 7th place with Raikkonen in 8th place. And Mazzacane is going to be your final finisher in the BAR, finishing in 9th place. 2 points for the BAR. And there's Alonso. He is going to have already finished because he has been put a lap behind. But there is your race winner for today, Juan Pablo Montoya. He's going to make it. He's made it 2 out of 2. Looks like he's going to be the man to beat here in this championship. As we look at the final classification, Juan Pablo Montoya wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. De La Rosa in second, 7.4 seconds was the final gap. But both of them were far ahead of Rubens Barrichello. 29 seconds was the gap in the end. We look at all the rest of the drivers. All of the drivers that have suffered DNFs. You can finally see how they DNF'd. Looks like Bertie was the innocent victim. Frentzen, brake failure. Alesi, of course, was fuel. Montoya started in second, lost out to second place, but jumped Bertie and then ran the pit stops and kept hold of the lead after that. Barrichello, rather fortunate to come third, to be honest. It would look like it was Bertie or Frentzen that's coming in third place. Ralf Schumacher, quiet drive pretty much, but he managed to get into 4th place. Verstappen, 5th place. It's a good result for the McLaren. Ferrari, 6th in the form of Michael Schumacher. 7th place, David Coulthard. 8th place, Kimi Raikkonen in a Sauber. 9th place, Mazzacane in the BAR. Has managed to get points. Congratulations to him. And Alonso, nowhere all race and managed to get 1 solitary point. The Webber in the Sauber in 11th. 12th place, Damon Hill in the Jordan. Still pointless is the Jordan. 13th was Takuma Sato after starting in last place. 14th is Button in the Jordan. 15th is Fisichella. He was an innocent victim in Alonso being taking him out. Frentzen had a brake failure, it looks like. Bertie was an innocent victim. He started in 3rd place, did Bertie. Alesi ran out of fuel. He was also an innocent victim in the Fisichella tangle. Panis looks like he had a gearbox failure. I didn't spot it. And Young is your final person. Thank you for watching the Hungarian Grand Prix and goodbye.